Welcome, operatives. If you're hearing these words, and you have the proper security clearance to understand them, you've obviously been accepted as enlightened agents within the Technocratic Union. Congratulations! If you don't yet have the proper security clearance, don't worry, remain exactly where you are. Do not move. Operatives are being dispatched to your location to help you transition into the next stage of your existence. Before we release you back into the front lines to save the world, your local HR department has a few guidelines for your careful consideration, so we can ensure you don't stray from the straight and narrow path. As the author of the Orange HR Handbook for Construct Detroit Central, I've been asked to summarize our HR procedures for agents. You may feel some slight anxiety about notating this information, but you can relax. You won't be tested at the end of it. No, you'll go about your business for a month or two, and then you'll have random quizzes as part of our internal loyalty review program. If you've got nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. Whether you're destined to hunt reality deviants or work behind the scenes, remember that your friends in Vorpal Tales HR always have your back. Welcome to Vorpal Tales, where we play terrifying tales and awesome adventures every day of the week. For you Mage fans, we have Mage all weekend now. This show on Saturdays and White Walls, a Mage's 20th Anniversary Edition horror games on Sundays at 9 p.m. On Tuesdays, we're currently playing Trinity Continuum Adventure on the Onyx Path Publishing channel. And on Friday, Scarred Lands, Dracogenesis. If you're into the sci-fi vibe, starting April 19th, we'll be playing Dune, Adventures in the Imperium. On Mondays and on Wednesdays, we are currently playing Tales from the Loop. Be sure to check out our website, vorpaltales.com, to see our complete calendar. Catch recaps of shows, check out shows that aren't related to Onyx Path, and check out our archive of past shows on YouTube. Starting later this month, podcasts. Not much later this month. Starting next week, podcasts. You'll also find links to all our social media and our Patreon. Be sure to click follow on Twitch so you can get notified of shows, and if you check out the YouTube archive, subscribe and hit the bell. All new and current Twitch followers will be entered into a drawing for a handful of free PDFs for any game we've played once we hit 300 followers on Twitch, which is probably going to happen tomorrow. So get in while you can. Special thanks to Onyx Path Publishing and White Wolf for gifting us the World of Darkness and all the support they offer. Thanks to Astral Tabletop for the awesome virtual space we use to play all our games. To my brother, Nate Mid, from right here at Vorpal Tales for our custom Astral Tabletop character sheets that you can all use too to play Mage 20th Anniversary Edition on Astral. We'll actually get to show them off a bit tonight. Enlightened Ages. Tell us who you are, but not your name yet because you don't quite exist. Let's go with seniority order, which means Key is first.
I am the eldest among you, of course. Hello, my name is Kisama. You can find me on Twitter at TrueKisama, and I don't know who I will be tonight. It'll be fun.
JT.
All right, so I'm JT. You can find me around the internet as at Zensomancer, and I am playing something. We will find out.
Jane and Harry.
Greetings, I'm Harry, aka the Sleepy Cat on everything, and I am playing, I don't know the name yet, but a shooty boy.
Hello, I am Jane, also known as the Confused Crow on the internet, and I'm playing his better half.
Literally. Harry, Zach.
I am Zachary Naldra. You can find me on Twitter and other places on the internet as Zach at Zach Rules, and I know who I'm playing because I played it for the one shot from the backer awards from Technocracy Reloaded that you can find on Next Path. I will be playing Agent Jacob Hardigan.
And last but not least, Jason.
Hello, everybody. I am _touring on Twitter and other places, and I haven't picked a name for my guy yet, but I will be playing a member of Iteration X, and he is going to be a magical cyborg MacGyver.
Best description ever. Okay. Well, this thing would like me to log in, so I'm going to do that first. I'm going to open a character sheet. And people at home can go along with us. Some of this we've done in advance, but we're still going to go through each step of the creation process before we dive in tonight in our Prologue / Session 0. So, who's the guinea pig? Zach, you're the guinea pig.
There was a woohoo there, but I was muted, so I apologize that you missed it. It was entertaining and funny. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody.
Okay. So, we're going to begin at the beginning of the character sheet because you should always begin at the beginning of the beginning. As far as this is going to be everyone going along, but it's the reason I said Zach's the guinea pig is the audience can see his sheet and any changes he makes. So, first thing we have to talk about is what the hell are we playing? We are playing Technocracy Reloaded, which, in the original version of Mage the Ascension, were the bad guys. Now, they're just another faction. They're not necessarily bad or good, because the traditions also are not necessarily bad or good. It is quite possible everyone has been corrupted by the Nefandi, so everyone's a bad guy and doesn't know it. So, in the original meta plot, which we're only going to touch on briefly, but we have to touch on because you can't do Technocracy without it, the Order of Reason came about in what is called the High Mythic Age, sometime between 1200 and 1400 AD, roughly, because tradition mages, hermetic orders specifically, weren't very nice to the local people. They lorded over them like the gods they basically were. A bunch of awakened individuals broke away and decided enough was enough and started a revolution. So it had noble beginnings, but by the Victorian Age, it wasn't noble anymore. By the time they stopped becoming the Order of Reason and became the Technocracy, they were fully in support of empire, colonialism, crushing all kinds of local indigenous populations because their craft magic was evil, and otherwise forcing their vision of reality onto the world. This did not slow down until the modern era in the 90s. Basically, for 2 whole centuries, they were supervillains. They tried to force what they believed reality should be on the world, and they succeeded. In the end of the original World of Darkness timeline, before the conversion to the modern era, there was a big final showdown, and in the canon, the Technocracy won. The Ascension War was lost, the traditions were broken and scattered, and there were few survivors. The Technocracy was ascendant, and science was the future. However,
We're number 1.
nothing's ever really that simple, is it? The Technocracy created the Avatar Storm, which any fan of Old White Wolf knows what that is. When the world ended, the spirit world turned into a Category 15 hurricane and tore through all of the Umbral realms and basically made travel outside of the reality of Earth impossible. This didn't just wreck the traditions, because it's not just traditional mages hiding away in super secret fantasy realms where their magic works. It separated the Technocracy from their masters too, because their masters were in deep space, which is just another aspect of the Umbral realms in the World of Darkness. So Technocracy, along with the traditions, lost contact with all of their masters. And control, in the case of the Technocracy, which is a huge deal, because control told everyone what to do. Not only that, but the masses rebelled, because nothing but pure science and complacency is boring. You know what's cool? Ouija boards and ghost stories. Technocracy began to lose control of their paradigm on reality. Along with the huge loss of agents and the traditions regaining power, they didn't really win. They just kind of won a skirmish, but the war is far from over. However, they have essentially set the paradigm for reality. Science is ascendant. Spiritualism exists, but it's, in our world, secondary to the advancements of science. That is essentially the meta plot in a nutshell. However, everyone learned there were bigger enemies than just the traditions versus the Technocracy, because it came to light that the Nefandi, supervillain, evil wizards that essentially are irredeemably evil, not just mustache-twirling silly evil like, we want to end the world, but we don't want to end the world with nuclear war because that's boring. We want to end the world by destroying hope. The best way to destroy hope is to make everyone suffer in every way possible. So, predation, abuse, torture, slavery, you name it. The Nefandi are into it, and they're irredeemably evil, and they have their souls shredded and reformed into something vile. And it was found out that they had infiltrated the hierarchies of both the Technocracy and the traditions, which you'd think they'd have figured out, because it happened in World War II, and they had to kick most of them off the planet. Mages don't learn well from their past mistakes. So, it's not necessarily true that you have to shoot on sight every tradition mage, because sometimes there's bigger enemies. Also, there's those goddamn vampires. Nobody likes them, especially the ones that do that fake blood magic. Questions on that? That's a real brief, kind of silly introduction to the metaplot you'll be dealing with. Okay, good. So, I know most of you haven't actually played regular mage, but a couple of you have. Zach and I think Jason once, and Key. And Harry, because Harry's in my Sunday game. The main differences are mages, their magic is anything they want it to be. It could be anything from psionics to funky dances to getting high to straight up Aleister Crowley, it doesn't matter. Technocrats can only do magic one way, because it's not even magic, through hyperscience. So, spiritualism isn't a thing, soul's a silly concept. You have a core to your being, but it's just energy, because everything's energy. So, for those of you that have played Mage before, it's more restrictive, but not as much as you'd think. Because basically, any action movie you've ever seen where the superhero did something impossible is a technocrat. Every single aspect of the Matrix, those are all technocrats. Any bullet time scene in any movie is Technocracy. Cybernetic parts, Technocracy.
Funky ass weapons doing ridiculous things.
Yeah.
That's us, baby.
Right. So, you still do magic. You just interpret it through devices or your own personal selves. Technocracy even believes in the betterment of your own self to create genius-level things. Perfection of the body, perfection of the mind. Psionics is perfectly acceptable to a technocrat. Telekinesis, telepathy, all of that is just a natural evolution of the human mind to its next state. So as we move along, you can have that in your brain holes. Now, for the world itself we're playing in, all of our Purple Tales World of Darkness games are connected, but they're not necessarily all at the same time. This one begins in the 2030s. Your game will begin in 2034 to be exact. Slight changes from the real world are the technocratic paradigm kept moving right along, even though in the shadows so did the traditional paradigms. But cybernetics, human augmentation, is the next big thing. They actually accelerated the paradigm in our world because there was an event that happened. This is all metagame knowledge. Your players would not have any notification of this, or knowledge of this, but there is a group of mages, possibly from Purple Tales, that worked for the Technocracy. They had a very simple mission that went very out of control, and a member of the New World Order may have decided the best way to defeat their Nefandi nemesis was to trap it in digital form, merge it with an emergent sentient AI, and make unlimited copies so the copies would kill each other. That's not what happened. The copies went out into the world and did what AIs do. Made life miserable for everyone and worked together. It did, however, create an explosion of new technology and advanced hyperscience being forced on the masses much earlier than the Technocracy would have preferred. Technology moved forward at leaps and bounds almost to a cyberpunk level. Pretty damn close. Of course, governments and benign agencies did not control this explosion because Nefandic influence is behind it. Corporations do. So this is your dystopia. Also, several technocratic secrets that are in the main game considered secret are not secret to the world anymore. That same group also accidentally crashed a deep space cruiser from the Void Engineers into the space station that rings planet Earth that the Technocracy uses to keep threats out of the front lines, and broke its digital void shielding. So humans know there's a giant ring of metal surrounding the planet that people live on. That didn't help slow down the paradigm any either. All due to one very deviant New World Order agent. Sorry, Zach. It's a stain on your organization. He's not a problem anymore, though, because he was shoved out of this galaxy and into another one, and there's no way back for him. He merged his consciousness with a spaceship that warped out of the Milky Way. So, he's not coming back. So, as you could probably tell from the intro, you will be working for a construct, which is a technocratic base of operations like a chantry for mages, in Detroit. Detroit of the 2030s, which is pure cyberpunk Detroit. The world's largest augmentation corporations work here because they bought out all the old auto factories to create autofacts to pump out cybernetics. Human augmentation is very controversial, however, because of the debate of what makes you human and how much control should corporations have over things that are considered medically necessary for certain people. Because corporations don't just give you shit, they lease it to you. They also provide discounts, but they still charge you for the drug necessary to maintain the augmentations without your body rejecting them. If you don't regularly inject said drug, your body will reject the augmentations. If you stop paying, you lose the drugs. If you stop paying, they might come repo your eyes or your arms or your legs. So, very controversial as one might expect. Also, it has bred an entire new form of racism. Augs versus non-augs. Who's more pure? What was the question, Zach?
Is Omni Consumer Products one of those evil companies?
No. However, hold on. It is entirely possible where is it? I gotta get the right name for you since you're pulling on existing properties. It is entirely possible that other corporations that exist in other versions of Cyberpunk Detroit are relevant and may exist, though, but we can't necessarily use them in their full names. So I refer you to Deus Ex Machina. That'll be the basis for creating your characters. That's the big major change I told you not to fully create your paradigm yet. And also the reason I said cybernetics don't cause as much permanent paradox. Enlightened agents of the Technocracy, you don't ever have to worry about rejecting your augmentations because your hypergenius allows you to adapt to them with your advanced evolved brains without the need of the drug. So that's also not a problem for player characters. Okay. Questions on any of that? Excellent. So, first, natures and demeanors. Starting with your announcement order, go ahead and let the audience know the nature and demeanor you've chosen and what that means to your character. Which means we're beginning with Key, who I believe is not here. So, we're beginning with JT.
Hold on, I gotta scroll up a little bit because I feel like I already picked this up tonight, but I did not write it down, of course. I'm real bad at this live thing. Come on.
Oh, the fair started.
Ah, there we go. My nature is explorer, and that my character likes to understand the universe and really find out everything that's going on in the universe. And the thrill seeker is the demeanor. So the way that the world perceives my character is that they're kind of do foolish things quite often.
And devil's advocate.
Does that make sense?
You were not muted, Harry.
Oh my god,
Sorry.
I'm so...
Okay. And what is your concept, JT, so the audience knows why you chose that nature and demeanor?
My concept is sort of like a aesthetically more like a cyber monk, but really, yeah, I want to go with that. So like a cyber monk type character, really zen, meditates a lot, and wants to explore very academic, wants to explore sort of like the meaning and understanding of all things in like the universe. And as such, that means doing things that.
Bam.
Hold on. Doing things that allow that exploration, maybe in a way that isn't always safe, but allows my character to grow.
And what is your faction?
I did not choose a faction. I apologize. I missed that.
You did, Virtual Adepts.
Convention.
That's
Yes,
so
convention. I apologize.
Virtual Adept is my convention.
Correct.
Can you explain what that means to me then? Because I missed that.
Your character jacks into the virtual web and literally goes there in body and spirit. Tron.
Yes.
You are Tron.
Yeah. I don't like Tron as an aesthetic, but it's like Matrix, but like Cyberpunk. So yeah, it makes sense in my head. I hope it makes sense for everyone else.
Yeah, you basically described Morpheus. Key. Nature, demeanor, and concept.
My nature is Guardian, and my demeanor is Bravo. So for Bravo, I intimidate people very often. I chose these because my concept is a transhumanist Yakuza enforcer. So, a lot of augmentations, and a lot of crime. A lot of crime. Not going to sugarcoat it. Crime. It's crime. All crime.
And what is your convention?
My convention, I am a progenitor.
Also, before anyone in the audience wonders, the virtual adepts are not all technocrats, but this particular one is. The line is more blurry than the line is blurrier in the 2030s than it is in the 2020s in the straight game. Also, Striker Cop, thanks for the follow. That means next we would have Jane and Harry.
Hello, yes, I am playing. My nature is Curmudgeon, my demeanor is Devil's Advocate, and my concept is. My affiliation is Void Engineers, and my concept is Molder, but done.
And my nature is Caregiver, my demeanor is Idealistic. I too am a Void Engineer, and my concept is Scully, but a medic, and more optimistic and naive.
And why don't you tell the audience, especially Rachel, she'll get a kick out of this, what the special quirk is for your characters?
We are two bodies who share a soul. He's the more cynical part of the soul, and I get to be the happy one.
So real life.
Our dynamic is quite literally someone will die of fun!
Yeah.
Yes. They have a split avatar. 2 bodies, 1 soul. Meaning, when they do ritual magic together or invent devices together, things are much easier for them. However, if they get separated far enough apart, things get much harder. Okay. Zach.
All right. So, my nature is a guardian, and we'll get into more how that comes about when we start talking about paradigms and practices. But his demeanor is conformist. He is on board with the technocracy. That is what the way of the future is. That is how the world will be saved. He is an NWO operative, and he is a former bounty hunter prior to joining, or prior to his enlightenment.
And last but not least, Jason.
Sorry, I forgot to mute myself. So I am a nature of, well, my concept, I kind of already said it, but is magical cyborg MacGyver. Nature is survivor. The the backstory for my guy is that he was a engineer and an inventor, and was losing his eyesight, so he actually developed nanotech to replace them with cyber eyes, and that was what drew the attention of Iteration X, which is his convention, and that is what led to his awakening. So he does what he needs to do in order to survive, and his demeanor is innovator. So that means that he will come up with a unique and new way to overcome whatever obstacle is placed before him.
Excellent. Also, Dwayne is in this game, but he's trapped at a small child's birthday party. I feel for the poor guy. So, briefly, his character fills in the last of what's missing as our syndicate operative. However, he doesn't control a corporation? I guess maybe it is a corporation. I don't know, but he's a capo for the Mafia, with aspirations to be the Don. Straight up. So we got a Yakuza and a capo in the same group. This is gonna go awesomely. I don't remember what his nature and demeanor are, but basically he's the Godfather, so you can probably figure that out in your heads. Or the son of the Godfather. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about magic. So the most important part of magic, or hyperscience, is how you view the universe, your focus. Focus is broken down into your paradigm, your practice, and your instruments. Your paradigm is your philosophy of reality. That's how you view the universe, and through that lens you interpret things to use your genius to create supernatural effects. Your practice is the practical way that you manifest that, and your instruments are the physical tools that you need to make it happen. Traditional mages can, theoretically, begin to slowly but surely dump tools as they advance, not you. You have the advantage of lots more gear and backup, but the disadvantage of never being able to get rid of your tools. So, we went over all of this with you individually, but essentially, your paradigm could be something like, we're all meant to be gods if we evolve enough. That could be your philosophy of the universe. And then your practice could be psionics and, I want to say privation, but that's not what it's called. Help, Zach. Ordeals, where you force yourself to do more and more physically and mentally impossible things, especially if it hurts, to enhance your mind and body. And then your practice would be meditating, bending spoons, or whatever you want to imagine it to be for your psionics, and actually athletics, working out, parkour. You can imagine any number of things for ordeals to improve your body and mind. That is a practical way that it breaks down. So, starting again with Key, tell us about your paradigm, your practice, and your instruments.
My paradigm is transcend your limits. We all have power within us. It's the limits that are the problem. We just need to push past those. And to do this, I will be using martial arts. Training both mind, body, and that silly thing called spirit, but no, I don't need that.
Key is just another form of energy for you, Key.
Of course. And the instruments that I have, oddly enough, social dominance, body modification, and weapons.
Excellent. JT.
All right, so I'm doing the first thing is everything is data. So everything in the world is mathematic. Basically, if you really think about it, everything is applied mathematics. So that's my paradigm, I believe.
Correct.
Next is reality hacking. That's my... forgot the word for it. The second.
Practice.
Practice. Reality hacking. So making reality the way I want it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm imagining this sort of like the that sort of, what was that sort of like liquid, the red stone in the Marvel movies. You know what I'm talking
I know
about?
what you're talking about, but I can't remember what they called it. But yeah, basically everything to you is code. Everything is just computer code. Every single part of reality, all you got to do is figure out how it's coded, and then you can reprogram it. That's how a virtual adept would to interpret that.
Yeah. And then, so then my instruments are using computers, computer devices, the internet and internet usage, and meditation to kind of tie in that cybermonk look. So I'm sort of constantly jacked into the matrix, really.
Basically.
And sort of manipulating things by hacking the code, manipulating reality.
Jane and Harry, tell us about your shared paradigm and then where you deviate.
Yes, our shared paradigm is
Gods and monsters. And then we also share a practice of hypertech.
hypertech. I have weapons and cybernetics.
And I have brews and concoctions along with drugs and potions.
And it's the full name is everything World of Gods and Monsters, which basically means that might sound to the layman like traditional magic, but not necessarily, because from the technocrat point of view, it means the world is filled with all these reality deviants that need to be brought into line and brought under the paradigm of technocratic control. You must spread the cities and the science and the electricity, because there's scary things in the dark, and it's your job to shoot them all. Unless you're Jane, then I guess it's your job to relocate them all. And then Harry shoots them? Yeah, that works. Zach!
So my paradigm is also a world of gods and monsters. There's bad things out there, and the general populace, the consensus, is not ready to take that. It is his role to keep them safe and keep them in the dark, and not knowing about the evils that threaten their existence. He does this through use of dominion. He presents an air of authority. He speaks with as someone that you want to listen to. He portrays and affects dominance when he speaks, using tools such as social domination, hypertech, and eye contact.
Gotta have those mirror shades.
Damn right.
And Jason.
Okay. I have too many sheets open. All right. My paradigm is transcend your limits, practice through cybernetics, and my instruments are cybernetic implants, devices and machines, and nanotech.
What does the paradigm mean to you? Your character.
The paradigm for him is kind of started out with his loss of his eyesight, in that spurred him to improve the human form through cybernetic enhancement, implants, and nanotech.
Perfect. Okay. That is actually the most complex part of a mage character, so we did that in advance, because that could take 3 hours all on its own to explain from scratch. Next, we move on to Dots, more dots. Your characters are... Also, I mentioned to you earlier that your characters would have more stuff than a starting character, but you have the mindset of a starting character. That's because your whole party's been wiped, and none of you know why. You are an amalgam that was put together of reconditioned agents who went through Room 101. You don't remember why you did that, and you don't care, because you're all good boys and girls again now. Also, thinking about it too hard gives you really bad migraines. It's weird. Anyways, so, attribute-wise, primary, secondary, tertiary is normal. Instead of 753, you are 864. So let's begin with Key and put some dots in.
Oh boy. Alright, so primary attributes obviously going to be physical here.
Yep.
Secondary is social.
Are you cybernetically
wanna-
enhanced? Or do you
Most
plan
likely.
to be?
I plan to be.
Or genetically enhanced? This question will come up for all of you. If the answer is yes, you may pick any one physical or mental trait. They can go to 6 dots.
Ooh.
All traits begin at 1 dot. And then you can spread out your points as you like. I'm going to go down the line and have you all list primary, secondary, tertiary, and then we'll give Key a minute to figure out what he wants to do. So JT, how's your layout going to work?
Well, I'm thinking my primary is going to be mental, secondary physical, and tertiary will be social.
Perfect.
And what you said it was 642?
Nope, 864.
Oh, 864. Okay.
And if you want to be cybernetically or genetically enhanced, those are backgrounds for technocrats, then you can pick any one mental or physical trait that can go to 6. It doesn't have to be at 6 now, it just has the potential. Without crazy high-level magic. Harry and Jane. Now here's the fun part. You must both have the same primary. But the secondary and tertiary can change.
Physical is my primary.
Oh no, I did mental.
I'm just kidding, you can do it any way you want.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off.
Very different.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with Jane.
The opposite. So for my primary, I went with mental. I have 4 dots in both intelligence and wit, and 3 in perception. Social is my second. I have 4 dots in charisma and appearance, and only 1 dot in manipulation. And physical, I have 3 dots in dexterity and stamina, and only 1 in strength. I am a weak baby.
Harry.
I am using physical as my primary, mental as my secondary, and social as my tertiary.
Okay.
I have 4 in strength, 4 in dex, 3 in stamina, 3 in perception, 2 in intelligence, 3 in wits. Or no, 1 in... Wait, I have 4 in strength, 4 in dex, 3 in stamina. Then I have 4 in perception,
There we go.
2 in intelligence, 3 in wits. Then for social, I have 2 in charisma, 3 in manipulation, 2 in appearance.
Perfect. Zach.
As a bounty hunter, physical stats would be very important to have to chase down and wrestle down people running away from the law. So physical primary, strength 3, dexterity 4, stamina 4. Mental is going to be secondary. You have to be able to keep your wits about you. You have to be able to outsmart the enemy, and you have to, be aware to watch them. So each of those is going to be at 3. As a bounty hunter, you don't have to be very social. So social is tertiary. Charisma and appearance is at 2, and manipulation is at 3. Sometimes you have to tell a little bit of lies to get to where you're going.
Sometimes, says the man in black. Jason!
I am... Go ahead, Zach.
Well, sometimes it's not a lie. Sometimes it's just a carefully rewording of the truth.
Plus, if you convince them it's true, it becomes true, right? Right.
Well, when you have mind sphere, what you say can be true. It's not a lie if they believe it, and if you believe it.
All right, Jason, what do you got?
All right. I am going mental primary, and I do think, well, and I obviously have cybernetic enhancements.
Yep.
So I am going to go with a 5 intelligence, 3 perception, 3 wits. Then I'm going to do physical as my secondary, and I'm doing 3, 3, 3 there. And then social will be my tertiary with 2 charisma, 3 manipulation, and 2 appearance.
Okay. Then going back to Key, what did you do?
So my attributes, I have 4 strength, 4 dexterity, and 3 stamina. For my social attributes, I want it to be well-rounded. So I have 3 charisma, 3 manipulation, and 3 appearance. But for mental, I have 3 perception, 3 wits, and 1 in intelligence. I'm not an educated man.
Okay. And did you pick something that you want to be able to get to 6 someday?
Someday, I hope to have 6 dexterity.
Okay. JT.
Alrighty. So mental was my primary, and I went with 3 in perception, 3 in intelligence, and 5 in wits. Physical is my secondary. I went with 2 in strength, 4 in dex, 3 in stamina. And finally, for social, I did 4 in charisma, 1 in manipulation. He doesn't like to lie. And 2 in appearance.
Perfect. And do you have an enhanced trait? If so, which one?
What's the cost of enhanced traits?
It'll be the same cost as base trait, but if you don't start with 6, it's obviously going to be a lot of XP. Same as Changeling. I don't have it right in front of me. But if you have that memorized, it's the same. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone, but yeah, I think it's 4 times current value.
4 times current.
So you'd need 20 XP. Which you'll get before the end of the show. And JT, did you have an enhanced stat? If so, which one?
Probably gonna go with dexterity as an enhanced stat.
Okay.
I'm just not there yet.
Right. Jane and Harry, do you have enhanced stats? If so, which one?
Should I? I don't know, like...
Not required.
My stats are good enough, like 4 in both dex and strength and 3 in stamina. That's like...
I mean,
This is more something you're working towards, right?
Yeah, it's unlikely you could start at 6, but it's unlikely.
He's already
What
got
is your-
cybernetics, doesn't he?
Yeah, so...
you would get them, right? My understanding of it.
Yes,
So-
if you have cybernetics, you would be.
If you have
Okay.
cybernetic or genetic enhancements as a member of the Technocracy, then you can spend XP or start at 6, yes, in that one thing.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have any cybernetics or anything like that, so
Okay.
I don't think I will have one.
And then Zach.
Has neither
Right.
genetic nor cybernetic enhancements.
Okay, and Jason.
Intelligence.
Okay, perfect. Next are abilities. Don't worry about secondary abilities because I'll be handing some of those out free when we're done with primary. Again, extra points, but only in your primary. So instead of 1395, it's going to be 1595. I think I'll start in reverse order this time with Jason.
Okay. Pairing with the mental primary, I'm going knowledge as primary. And I'm going to do academics 3, computers 3, enigmas 1, investigation 2, medicine 3, and science 3.
Okay. Zach.
So we're going with talents as the primary.
Okay.
You want the full list out on it?
Yeah, just throw them out there.
All right. Alertness 3, awareness 2, brawl 3. Hold on, empathy 1. That can't be right. Intimidation 2, leadership 1, streetwise 1, subterfuge. We're gonna make that streetwise. No, we'll keep empathy 1.
Okay.
He can. It's not real. It's faking it, but he knows how to fake it a little bit.
Okay. And then Harry and Jane, you only have to list your primary. We don't ability tree.
Okay, my primary is going to be skills. I have 5 dots in firearms, 3 in martial arts, 4 in melee, and 3 in stealth.
And Jane.
Primary would be in knowledge, medicine, and academics likely are just gonna get absolutely dumped into.
Now, at this point, you can only go to 3 in anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Then I will change that up.
Remind me, how many points do we get?
Oh,
in the...
15.
Yeah.
15. Oh, okay.
That's the other thing I was going to tell you. I'm allowing it to be 4 at this stage if you want it to be. My bad. So if Jason and Zach, you want to move something around, feel free.
Okay, then I'm 4 in
Can't go to 5
firearms,
though, yeah.
4 in martial arts. Wait, what did you say?
Can't go to 5 yet, though. That's correct.
Okay, so then 4 in martial arts, 4 in firearms, 4 in melee, 3 in stealth.
Okay. So then Jane would have 4 academics, 4 medicine, and what else?
And likely...
That leaves you 7 points.
4 in science, and then what is...
As a character.
Oh, okay. And then 3 in enigmas, considering her hobby is studying aliens and constantly begging Harry's character if she can keep one of them.
Enigmas is a good one. I have people roll that a lot for puzzles. Okay. JT.
Alright, so knowledges is my primary. I did academics 3, computer 4, of course, enigmas 3, so there'll be lots of puzzle solving, I guess. Medicine 2, occult 2, and politics 1.
And Key.
So my primary will be skills, with 2 in drive, 3 in firearms, 4 in martial arts, 4 in melee, and 2 in technology.
Okay. Let's get weird. And make sure I get the right link open. Hold on. Yep, there we go. Okay. Marking down your secondary abilities. There's space for it on both the first and second page. Other traits is the best spot on page 2 in the Astral page. The catch is you can't... Oh, no, I lied. My brother did fix this one. So yes, if you use other traits, you can actually roll from it in the sheet. Either on page 1 or 2. There's plenty of spots. So, in reverse order again, starting with Jason. You're the progenitor, correct? Yes.
No.
Or no, you're the Iteration X. Right.
I'm the progenitor. Hello.
Yes. Cybernetics 2. That is a skill.
Okay.
For record keeping, it doesn't really matter.
So cybernetics.
Yep.
2.
And then 2 points in secondary knowledge.
Oh, there it is. Just took a little bit. Okay, and then 2 points in what?
Biological augmentation. You can shorten that if you want. Basically, you're able to create, repair, upgrade, downgrade cybernetics, and you understand how they interact with the body.
Yep.
Zach. Intuition, 2 dots. That's a talent, if you're tracking where they come from. And your choice of hypnotism or misdirection. 2 dots. Or one of each, if you really want. You can always raise them later with XP and background points, too.
Which book are these out of? Are they out of the M20 or are they out of...
I have a master list, but I know that Intuition's in M20. I think Hypnotism came from one of the other 20th books. The difference being Intuition is an advanced form of empathy. If you've trained in Intuition, your DCs are lower to read people. So like if Jane says, I want to tell if this person's lying, Jane's going to have to roll empathy difficulty 6. You can roll Intuition difficulty 4. That's the difference. And then...
oh, so I don't need empathy then?
Right, you could dump empathy and
if I have intuition?
Yeah. If that's why you wanted
Bye,
empathy. And then hypnotism is literal. It allows you to hypnotize people, but you can do it as part of your focus practice.
And I'm guessing misdirection is working somewhat the same way?
Right. Misdirection is like hypnotism, except it's more of a fast talk way of doing it. It's really your method. Do you want to mesmerize them into believing your lies, or do you want to talk them into believing your lies? That's why I gave you the option, because it's just RP. Mechanically, they're going to work the same. I'll have you roll that before you try to reprogram someone's mind, and successes will lower the DC of certain things, possibly even spells, as a foci.
I like misdirection. I think that works better with his idea that it's not so much that he's... actually, no, hypnotism, I think, works better with his dominion.
Yeah, hypnotism is the creepier kind of Man in Black 2. Less charming, more, you will do what I say.
Yeah, he doesn't get people to do what he says because he is social or charismatic. He gets them to do it because he has the blunt force power.
Yeah.
To do so.
Hypnotism definitely then, yep. Okay. Harry. Time for the fun shit.
Let's do it.
Microgravity operations, 2 dots.
I can put that, I'll put that in other traits.
Correct.
Microgravity operation.
And everyone's favorite, Starship Helmsman, 2 dots.
I should put some dots into drive.
And now you all know I'm giving him the skill. It's going to come up in the game.
Would I roll that instead of 2 dots, you said?
Yeah, you would roll that to pilot starships, starfighters, any form of...
Okay, instead of drive, thank fuck.
Yeah,
I didn't put
drive will be for cars, right? Which, again, for anyone who doesn't know, World of Darkness, you don't need dots to do basic things like drive a car down the street. You need them for trick driving, stick shift, stuff like that. You all know how to drive an automatic to the grocery store. Okay, Jane.
Yes.
Got it in here somewhere. Where'd it go? Xenobiology, 2 dots. That is, of course, the study of alien physiology.
Ooh.
And, psychoanalysis, 2 dots.
Psychoanalysis. Psychoanalysis. So what would I use this one in?
Psychoanalysis is for determining the mental state of a person. So Zach can use his abilities to tell if they're lying. You can use your abilities to decide why they're lying.
Okay. So I can
It's
just
also
go all,
useful-
like, therapist mode.
Right. It's because you're the doctor. It's also useful for determining what people are going to do, like a, what do you call that? The FBI profiler would use that to figure out who the serial killer is.
Aha.
Okay, JT.
All right.
Hacking, 2 dots. This is, you can use computer for hacking, but hacking actually directly affects hacking. So basically, if you're specifically breaking into another's network or system, you roll hacking first, which lowers the DC of the computer roll that you make second.
Cool.
And then, conspiracy theories. Because you're Morpheus. 2 dots.
Was it really conspiracy?
Yeah.
If it was true. It was true though.
Conspiracy theory is a way you can define as a technocrat knowing about other monster types. Reality deviance. You don't have esoteric knowledge of vampires. That's dumb. You know the conspiracy theory about vampires when it's really obviously just a blood infection. Last but not least, key. Can't give you dough, because only tradition mages get that. However, I can give you all 4 of your free dots in the actual martial arts skill. You can take the dots you have in out and put them somewhere else.
Ah, yeah.
That's the reason that's specific is because we'll get to it later in the character creation process, but every dot gives you 2 maneuvers you can know how to do from the M20 book. So you'll have 8 maneuvers when we get that far. Can't do that thing Steve does on Sunday, though. The tornado kick is a dough thing.
What the twister?
Hurricane kick, that's what it's called. The thing he did when he was fighting his own mentor, though, and like deflected the damage, that was a martial art maneuver. Okay. Those are secondaries. So now we can move on to spheres, the big fun one. I'm actually going to wait a moment for Jane to come back. So we're going to move to willpower. All mages start with 5. You can use freebie points when we get to that stage to buy it higher, but mages are strong-willed beings.
Question for you.
Yes.
Will I use technology or crafts to build stuff with nanotech and whatever?
Depends on which stage. Technology would be to... So,
Hypertech
crafts...
stuff?
Crafts is going to be used more to design the way it looks. Technology is used for its function.
Okay.
So if you're trying to make something that's really smooth and sexy looking or easy to hide, you'd want crafts. If all you care about is that it fires death rays, that's technology. Although, that brings up a good point. That is its own skill for the Technocracy, and you all have it at 2 dots, and you can set yours higher if you want, Jason. Hypertech.
What's that? Hypertech.
Which is a skill. Any Technocracy-based gear you have, you'll roll that to activate and use it. Even if it's a gun, it's not going to be firearms. It's going to be hypertech, for instance.
Okay, so that's going to be an actual skill added underneath the technology.
Yep, and you can raise it to 4 if you want, but you get 2 free.
Okay.
All supernatural devices you use either will use that to activate or your arete. Okay.
Said we start that at 2.
Yep, and you can go as high as 4 at start. With freebies, you can max it out. Okay, so willpower 5 for everyone. But now, James is back. We'll talk about spheres. Quick rundown for any viewers who might not know. Correspondence is connections. It's not just physical distance, it's also how people are connected to places and to each other and how things connect to things. precognition, postcognition, being able to cast a spell on Harry with a piece of his hair, or in the case of a technocrat, analyze the DNA to be able to send a radio frequency out into the world that only affects that particular genetic frequency. That's all correspondence. It's also teleporting. Correspondence is the primary sphere for JT, virtual adepts. The virtual web is the correspondence domain. It's a specific subdimension that is uniquely tuned to correspondence. Entropy is decay, but it's also probability. Oop, we lost the camera. It is fate, fortune, and luck. So that is going to be Dwayne's primary sphere. Forces. Did I give anyone forces as a primary?
No, I don't think you did.
Okay. Forces is energy. The manipulation of energy in any form. Transforming it, moving it, creating it, destroying it, which of course is not possible for humans, but it is for mages. Hold on while I fix the cameras real quick. Love that shirt, Zach. Forgot to tell you.
Woo!
Be the supervillain. Okay, there we go. Next sphere is life, which is exactly what it sounds like. Matter, which is exactly what it sounds like. Mind, which is exactly what it sounds like. Prime, which you don't call prime. Technocrats call it primal energy. It is the fundamental building block of reality. It is the antimatter particle. It is the thing beneath the atoms to you. Also, correspondence is actually called data. So you would actually call that data when you used it out loud as a character, JT. Spirit doesn't exist for technocrats. Dimensional science, which is Harry's. And Jane's life. Jason's is matter. Zach's is mind. And last but not least...
Wait, what did you say I was?
Dimensional science.
Which is
the purview of virtual adepts. It's spirit. But technocrats don't believe in spirits. That's deviant behavior.
So where do I mark it?
Spirit.
Harry.
Oh, okay.
And how many dots do we get in this?
None yet, but I'm about to tell you. Primary,
okay,
the reason primary matters, I'll get to in a second too. And last but not least is time, everyone's favorite sphere. And the best way to get paradox and explode. Primary sphere. No other sphere can ever be higher than your primary. And your primary can never be higher than your arete. So those are your limiters. Also, when spending XP, it's cheaper to raise your primary than anything else. A magnitude cheaper. How you start out depends on which approach you would like, and then there are 3 approaches you can think about when I get to your name. You can decide which one is yours. But you can either have versatility, extreme focus, or balanced. And then I will tell you what your arrangement is that best fits to help balance the party. Normally they would pick for the audience, but this is a faster way to create a balance since there's so many mages. So we're going to start with key. Extreme focus, versatility, or balance?
Oh, balanced.
Balanced. Okay. So, which primary sphere did I give you?
I received primal utility?
Oh, that's right. Yes, because you are the progenitor, right? So yes, balanced layout. You'll have prime 3.
Ah, balanced.
Yes, prime 3. Mind 2. Life 2. Done. It's JT, extreme focus, balance, or extreme versatility.
I feel like, as the sort of monk archetype, I need to go with the middle way.
Okay.
Balance.
So you'll be correspondence 3. Time 2. And entropy 2. I'm sorry, forces 2. Okay. Jane. Balanced. Extreme versatility, extreme focus.
Extreme focus.
Extreme
I'm here
focus.
to keep people alive.
All right. So, in your case, it's going to be forces 2, life 4.
Forces 2, life 4. Okay, thank you.
And matter 1.
And matter 1.
Because you got to figure out if they can be brought back to life if they're dead.
I'm here to make things dead, so I'm going extreme focus in the other direction.
Okay. What did I give you for the primary?
Spirit.
Oh, right, your dimensional science. I keep thinking you're forces, but you're not. Yes, your focus layout is Spirit 4, Forces 3. Only 2 spheres, because you're good at one thing. Killing reality deviants.
And this is why I can't have nice things like an alien pet.
Harry can't do much, but the things he can do, he does really well. Okay, Zach.
We're going all in.
All right. Mind 4. Entropy 2. 3. Entropy 3.
Ooh.
Sorry. Probability. Or, if you think this will better serve you, I'd also let you do Mind 4. Correspondence 2. Entropy 1. If the connections, because you're a NWO. So do you care more about manipulating chance or figuring out how people are connected to better manipulate them?
I already kind of figured correspondence in, since that's like a NWO is normally mind and so
421.
but what was the other option? Is 4-3 and entropy?
Yep.
You said. I'm gonna go with 3 and entropy and see what kind of fun things that I can come up with there.
It also enhances the creep factor of the Man in Black. Okay. And last but not least, Jason.
Versatility.
Versatility.
Since nobody else went there.
Yes. It would also mean you'll be able to have the most variety of effects if you start spending XP later to increase the low spheres. So.
And it fits with the MacGyver concept.
It does, yeah. That puts you at Matter 2. Forces 2. Prime 2. Correspondence 1. Prime is very important to MacGyvering. At least when it's magic. Okay. Instead of the normal 1, you all start with an arete of 2. You can raise it to a max of 4. And those of you that picked focus will have to, because your arete has to equal your highest sphere. So only Jason does not have to improve arete anymore unless he wants to at this stage. So for all of you... Yes, enlightenment, correct. But because they're all looking at the astral sheet. So for those of you who have your highest sphere to 3, you need 3 arete, and for those of you whose highest sphere is a 4, you need 4 arete.
What does that cost for freebies?
7 per dot.
Oh.
Yeah. But there'll be some bonus freebies from me. Because I'm saddling you all with some flaws. Because you were mind wiped. But yeah, for the basic 15 free freebies, those of you who took the focus path only have 1 freebie point at the moment until I give you more. Okay. Willpower, if you decide to spend freebies, is 1 for 1. You will also all start, as indicated earlier, with 10 background points, not 5. And here's where we get to have Technocracy fun. They get all the cool backgrounds. So I'm going to go through them one at a time. Mark down the ones that interest you, and then we will return to them for more detail if necessary. As soon as I find them. There we go. Also, you all have 4 points of group backgrounds. I'll tell you which backgrounds are considered group as I hit them. Allies is an allowable background for the Technocracy. These are important connections in the mundane world. Cloaking, which makes you less noticed by sleeper people and sleeper technology. Obviously, it's built into your gear for the Technocracy. Genius, how awakened you are to hyperscience, how much potential you have to advance hyperscience, how much imagination you have, how much raw Einsteinian genius. It also determines your starting quintessence, which is what do they call that, Zach? What's the word for that for the Technocracy?
Prime. It's like primal something. It's premium, something like that.
Something like that. It's on the card. Let me look. Card has it. Primal energy. You're starting
There we
primal
go.
energy, which you can use to make hyperscience easier. Okay. Next is backup. Backup is actual Technocracy personnel, but they're unawakened. They're unenlightened. Technocracy employs the millions of sleepers to keep it running. Next one that's available after that is certification. That only matters when dealing with the mundane world. For instance, Jane, you would want certification to actually be recognized as a doctor by the world at large. Which, you know, that actually helped Scully a lot in the TV show. She got to a lot of unauthorized autopsies just because she said, I'm a doctor. That's how that works in the game, too, for all of you. Construct, which is actually your home base. This is a group one. Your construct is not just you, but the more points you put into it, the more cool stuff it'll have. There's probably 20 enlightened agents in this construct, because there's usually one mage for every couple 100,000 or 100,000 or so humans. It really depends on how you want to do the math. Next is contacts. Sleeper world contacts again. Next is hypercram. Hypercram's a cool skill where you can go into your mind palace like Sherlock and pick up dots and things you don't normally have dots in to make rolls. It's like when you have time to prep, you can kind of have any skill temporarily for a roll. Gives you bonus dice for whatever task you're trying to do. Next is enhancement. This is genetic or cybernetic enhancements. This background, the more dots you have, the more cool stuff you get, and the more paradox you get. However, the paradox is half M20 value round down. So even at 5 dots, you'd never get more than 2 permanent paradox for your enhancements. Fame is allowed, if you want to be famous in the sleeper world. Companion is allowed, but only for Iteration X and progenitors, in my games. These are lab-created creatures that shouldn't exist.
Oh, I
You
don't
want-
get
you
to
wanna-
get
you-
a little
you wanna-
alien pet.
You want a cat, dog, baboon? You can have one. I would allow it for you too, Jane. Special circumstances. But yours, you'd have no control over making. I would make it.
I literally backed
Can it at least be
Technocracy
cute?
No promises.
That's my one request. Can it at least be cute?
Part of it.
Yes.
Part of it.
I say, Zach.
I literally backed Technocracy Reloaded because of the picture on the Kickstarter of the flying chihuahua.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Next is library, which is a digital library for you. That's a group background. How extensive is the database in your construct? Next is node. That's group. There you can. It's not. The Technocracy views it differently. Your device is built over. The mages call them ley lines, but you guys understand that those are just geothermal, tectonic alignments where there's a lot of potential energy that you can use to fuel your facility. Yeah, whatever nonsense you come up with, it's the same thing. It lets you gain more primal energy to recharge with. Next is rank. Max of 2. Because you all start at 1, meaning you could push yourself to 3 if you want, within the Technocracy. At rank 3, though, they're starting to ask why you haven't become a supervisor. Just so you know. Okay, next is requisitions. This is a group background. Requisitions is Technocracy only. You have access to Q branch items. At the beginning of every mission, your supervisor will present you with the necessary items to complete your task. But it's always fun to have more than necessary items. James Bond doesn't need this fancy sports car with the machine gun headlights, but he wants it. That's requisitions.
I'm maxing this one out.
Resources is an individual trait for this one, but if you want real world money, that's the one you want. Laboratory. This is a group one. You will all have your individual spaces to do your own work, but it's pooled for points to determine the maximum capability. Like what kind of stuff can you get without having to go adventuring for material components or whatever. Secret weapons. Technocracy only again. This one's individual. Secret weapons is the cutting-edge technology that even the Technocracy isn't ready for yet. Not only just the unenlightened humans, it's in beta testing for enlightened agents. Want a full mech suit? That's what you need. You want to go full Terminator? Just a human brain? That's what you need.
Aw, yeah.
Really cool OP stuff with a high chance to backfire, meaning more paradox, just for existing. Next is spies. This is an individual stat, but it could always be useful, especially to looking at you, Zach. And then, might be the last one, double checking. Oh, devices, which is a magic item for a technocrat. Less necessary for Technocracy because they always get gear, but still exists if you want. A specific magic item I'll have ready for you by next week. So, 10 personal points, 4 group points for each of you. You should probably discuss your group points.
I am going to put my 4 into the Q branch items because I want those.
I'm going to put my 4 into laboratory because that would be useful.
Wait, the experimental items, I thought those were individual.
Nope, there's laboratory, which is a shared trait
Yeah.
for the construct.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I
then
was
there's
talking about
requisitions.
Harry's.
There's requisitions, which is group, and then there's whatever the other one was called, which is individual.
There, because it was in the way.
I could put mine into. I feel like if we each put 4 into some different, then we'd be doing all right.
I still think we should max out the laboratory. That's
The
fun.
laboratory is important.
10.
That's the Q items, right?
No, the laboratory.
That's requisitions.
Oh, requisitions then. I still vote we max that.
Laboratory is our workspace to work on things.
So that's where I can make you those Q branch stuff.
So
And
again,
that's where I can do alien autopsies.
Yeah, both of those are correct.
So is there a max of 5?
Laboratory has a max of 10. Requisitions has a max of 10. Library has a max of 10. I think all the rest are 5. Node can also go to 10.
Okay, so wait, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 of us. We have 24 points.
Yeah.
I vote we can max our requisitions in lab. And then the remaining 4 into node?
Well, I mean, we have to have... I'm assuming that the construct needs to have some points in it, so we actually have a place to put the laboratory.
Because it's not just you guys, you don't have to put points into it, but adding points will grant more features, more personal space, more defenses. Because,
Those be necessary?
I mean, you've played in my games. Would I assault you in your own base?
Yeah, 10 times a day, every day. So, to be fair, if we have a strong enough requisitions department,
Especially when you're not
blast
there.
whatever comes in with all the experimental shit they've got lying around.
So how requisitions works is it takes your loyalty as a difficulty, and whatever you have in requisitions is the number of dice you roll.
That's so fun.
A question: what does
So-
1 dot in certification mean?
So dots in certification is a determination of the certification. You need 3 to be a doctor. 4 is like you're world renowned in your thing, and 5 is like there's only a handful of you that exist.
Yeah, you're Stephen Hawking.
Yeah. But yeah, requisitions. If you go all in, Harry, with your if you had 10 points, everybody would have 10 dice to roll as a pool versus a DC. Starts at 10 and gets dropped by the number of how well you're trusted.
That's kind of good.
So yeah, you going all in with your personal points means everyone gets 4 dice to requisition. The DC is going to be variable because obviously some of you are going to rebel more than others.
Question on allies: what would like 4 points in allies get me?
That's a
from
lot. The example's always really weird, but for me, 4 points in allies is going to get you a large handful of lesser allies and 4 very specific, highly placed ones. So, like, at that high of a level, you'd have, like, a senator as an ally, and probably somebody in the military of a country of your choice, and a couple others at that level, and then, like, all kinds of lesser allies. Street rats.
And backup, like with 2 dots and backup, what would that get me? Like
How many?
Like 2 dots and backup, would that be, or 3 dots and backup? I put. And
That
2
one
enhancement.
gets you. Hold on. This one is pretty well laid out, in my opinion.
4
in the book.
agents. 4 basic agents. Oh wait, you said 3?
3.
3 would be 6 agents.
Does it say they're basic?
No. 2 says 4 basic agents or 2 skilled temps.
And 3 dots says what?
3 dots is 6 agents.
Just says 6 agents. Okay.
So it goes every so 1 dot is 2 agents, 4 dots is, or 2 dots is 4. It goes up by 2.
Right.
Pretty much up to, yeah.
So that means
Not
you could
exactly
get.
sure what-
That means you could get a squad of guns, or you could get a small handful of people that have a specific skill set of some kind. That's what it's telling you.
Okay, that's good. So 4 dudes versus 6 dudes doesn't.
So I do have a question though. With us of just being mind wiped, how does things like allies, contacts, and backup and other social-based backgrounds play into that?
You weren't wiped because of disobedience. You were wiped because you saw something the Technocracy didn't want you to see. You actually willingly submitted to the process, so you're still well respected.
Okay, so we're still in.
Yeah.
So it's
you all
not like-
currently have rank of you all currently have it's not called rank, but the trust level of 3.
T3.
Yeah, you're T3.
Oh, we can get married. Good for us.
Yes, you can. You can live off base too.
Okay.
So yeah, you can continue returning to debating the merits of group things.
I have one more question that's not group based.
Yes.
Or sorry, discussion is, so since I'm going with this like computer hacker type, of course, because it's me, I want my allies to be like high placed, maybe even like the head of cybersecurity for a country, or is that would be 3 or 4 points? The sort of like
the head of cybersecurity
like a hacktivist group.
Oh, that'd be 4.
That'd be 4.
Yeah. Head of cybersecurity for an entire nation is 5.
Okay, I'll go with 4 then, and go with like a well-known.
4 means you know
group.
Chloe from 24, and she does favors for you, if you know who that is.
I don't, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know Trinity.
APOC's your buddy from the Matrix.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so for the shared, I'm going to put 1 into construct, 1 into library, 1 into requisitions, and 1 into laboratory.
Alright, so what were the ones that could be shared again?
So the ones that can be shared were construct, library, node, requisitions, laboratory.
And Zach, will you please record group totals for us? I'm also going to have you be our recapper because you're good. You're awesome at it.
Lovely. All right, construct library. I'm typing these out so I can remember them. And
Construct, library, node, requisitions, laboratory.
okay.
So right
And
now
you were
you're at 5 requisitions, 5 laboratory, and then 1 and 1 for the other 2 Jason said.
Yeah, construct and library, 1 and 1.
Okay.
So honestly, if we all put 1 dot in basically, there's 6 of us and there's 5 shared backgrounds, so we could just do 5s across the board.
Yeah, that's also a way that would work. That's how I figured out how many points to give you, Jason. What gives them an average of everything?
Oh, Funny how that works.
But yeah, then you have to convince Jane and Harry to average.
Well, they've already put their 4s and stuff, so now we just need to work around them.
Yes.
All right.
Dwayne will do whatever, because he's sad he's not here, so you can fill his in as needed after you hear Keys and JT's.
I'm not real picky on this one, and I feel like people that have a little more experience with the system should go ahead and use my 4 points as they want.
So you can spread out those 8, Jason, to bring up the average how you want.
All right, so I'm going to take JT's points.
Zach, sorry,
because as a hacker, I figure a library is going to have access to information that he's going to want, so we're going to put them all there.
So that puts us at 5 in library.
Finds in library. Nobody has put anything into Node yet, which is important.
Yeah. Those lowering of the magic DCs come up a lot.
Oh, okay.
We use Dwayne's for that then?
Well, nodes provide quintessence, and quintessence lowers your difficulty. Yeah. So having a place to gather that from is kind of important.
Also, that's how you recharge hypertech devices. They need primal energy. That's their battery source.
Oh, okay.
And that's how you would recharge any companions.
I'm willing to surrender 1 of my points to up the node.
Okay.
Keep in mind, all group ones do go to 10.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm putting my 4 into node so that we can have the things powered up.
So that will drop
requisitions to 4,
but node is at 6.
Yeah,
What
I put
is-
5 of my merits into secret weapons, so
Okay.
I think I can cope with some slightly lessened requisitions.
What is laboratory at right now?
Five.
What's our laboratory? 5?
With
know we were-
a laboratory of damn the Mage 20 book, writing it like it's for the traditions. Calling it a sanctum
Almost
instead of
like that was the
laboratory.
focus ones.
Actually, the laboratory does max out at 5.
For me, I let it go to 10. The book does stop at 5. But I mean, if you took it all the way to 10, it's essentially going to be me saying, you're going to be like, can I do this in my lab? And I'm just always going to say yes.
Yeah, sure.
Can I make a hole in space-time in my lab? Fuck
Yes.
yeah.
Can I turn myself into a gorilla?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I invent
Neither
a
of those are
Now-
going to go
cure
well
for
for you
death?
once you exit the lab, though.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, see, one of the nice things about a laboratory is that you control the reality within the laboratory. So nothing is vulgar
Oh, so you can just fuck
Inside
around
your-
in there.
inside your laboratory. Nothing is out of the possibility of reality within your laboratory and within this testing space.
Yes. I know we were going for balance, but I'd like to put a dot into laboratory. Bring it up to 6. I feel obligated, seeing as I want to be experimented on. And
All right, so we are currently at. So you're put dots in the laboratory, so that's going up to 6.
and what's our note at right now?
6.
6? Oh shoot.
Our current standing is, from my understanding, Construct 1, Library 5, Node 6, Requisitions 4, Laboratory is now 6.
Yeah.
My other 3 points into the construct.
3 points into the construct. Construct of 4. And then we're just waiting for Dwayne at this point. Then I take it.
Yep, and you can spend his how you want. So go ahead and bring up the averages that way. He'll be here, but he's not quite yet.
Okay.
And while you do that, it's a good time to take our break, because the only thing that'll be left after this will be freebie points and flaws. So, we're going to take a 10-minute station identification break, audience, and we shall return. Don't go anywhere, because the Technocracy is watching you, and they'll be observing your movements if you do. And we've returned. Okay. So, finishing up the backgrounds. Where did the group backgrounds end up at?
The group backgrounds, we had not yet assigned Dwayne's.
Spend them how you want. He won't care.
Okay. What do people want here?
Where's it at now?
We have Construct at 3, 4, Library at 5, Nodes at 6, Laboratory at 6, Requisitions at 4.
I think we should up the constructs and the nodes. Is that the one where you get the crazy?
That's requisitions for the crazy tech.
Okay.
Yeah, construct would be nice to upgrade because knowing Tyler, we're gonna get attacked in our own home.
All right, Dwayne has put, or Harry has put one of Dwayne's points into Construct.
Okay.
Jane
Alright.
is gonna put
Jane wants to put one in requisitions.
I also want to put one in construct, actually.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, does Key or Turing have a claim on that?
I've got
Okay.
no claims here.
Okay. So we've got 1 point left.
We're at construct what now?
Construct, nodes, and laboratory are at 6. Library and requisitions are at 5.
Requisitions is the fancy guns.
Requisitions is gear that you don't already have. So every Technocracy agent is likely going to be issued standard items. You can also include other items by the devices or wonders in the book to have your own personal items that you don't have to give back. Every mission that you are sent on will have some standard gear as well. Requisitions is getting gear above and beyond what you already have. So if we are all issued a gun and an ES phone as standard for the mission, and you want a bigger gun or a faster car and you don't have that on your sheet, that would be what requisitions is for.
Yeah, I
If you
support
wanna-
the idea of getting us better personal gear. But I don't know how y'all feel.
It is something that is a rolled effect. So it
Do
is.
we have- How many dots do we have floating right now?
We have 1 dot remaining.
For the requisitions.
Okay. Which does bring up the question, Tyler, do we have standard issued gear?
Yep, it'll vary from mission to mission.
Do we have standard issue equipment that we would already have just by being? For example, NWO agents are often in a black suit and have a specific gun and not one they buy off the street.
It's all mundane if it's not mission specific. But yes, you can basically have any one mundane thing you want as long as it's reasonable. But like the suit that actually does stuff, or gun that only fires for you, those are mission specific or requisitioned. At a minimum, you would all have clothing, tablets, phones, and basic sidearms. And any one specialized kit. Med pack for Jane, portable lab for Jason, whatever.
So as much fun as requisitions would be, I think with like 5 dots, that's fine. Like, that's good. We can get into other things if people want.
I thought it was good.
Okay, yeah. Then it's decided. I'm okay with whatever we choose.
Okay.
6 it is. So, reverse order again. Jason, what'd you pick for personal backgrounds?
Personal backgrounds. I've got Genius 3, Hypercram 2, Enhancement 3, Secret Weapons 2 right now.
Okay, your quintessence, or your primal energy, will begin at 3. The wheel works thusly. Top of the wheel is always only primal energy. Bottom of the wheel tracks paradox. You can never have more primal energy than paradox. But you can have paradox eat into your primal energy. So, Jason, you said enhancements what?
Enhancements 3.
Cybernetic or genetic?
Cybernetic.
1 permanent point of paradox. Zach, personal backgrounds.
Personal backgrounds, Genius 3. Certification, private investigator license of 3 so that he can concealed carry. Contacts 1. And then devices 3.
Okay.
And that's as far as what he would want for devices, and that may change what my final total is. Not just the black suit, but the enhanced black suit.
Okay. That's affordable at 3, yep.
And a data crawl.
Okay. Yes. Approved. Harry.
I have put 3 into enhancements, so I gave myself that extra dot of paradox.
Okay.
I have put 2 into backup, and I have put 5 into secret weapons.
Perfect. Jane.
I put 5 into genius, 3 into certification, and then 2 into companion.
Okay. You have 5
I-
primal energy.
Oh boy. I hope to get something cute. Something cute, even if it's just like a little slime blob.
It's going to be a gray alien. It's just going to be pink. That's all.
Where do I find the whatchamacallit?
Paradox?
Primal energy and paradox are the wheel at the bottom of the first page.
Okay.
Start on the left at the top for the blue ones for the conquestants going around, and paradox starts on the bottom left and goes the other way
Okay.
Yep.
in the red.
And Key.
Okay.
I have Genius 1, Influence 3, Enhancement 1, Device 1, and Resources 4.
What was the enhancement level?
Enhancement was 1.
Okay, no paradox then. And you're rich as fuck. That's going to come in handy. Okay. Now to learn how I screwed you all over. Okay. Merits and flaw times. Merits and flaws time.
Alright. Show me your worst.
As for, I will actually drop these in Discord as we go along, because I mix some of the old school ones with new school ones. I use, what's this called? I've always used it. Death Quaker's big list of comprehensive flaws and merits from every source that ever existed in World of Darkness. Okay, let's start with Key this time. Jump. Yes. Hold on.
Suspense. It's killing me.
It should be. Okay, here we go. Amnesia, you're all gonna have this. This is a 2-point flaw. And that, of course, allows me to give you extra flaws that you don't necessarily know about, except I'm going to be nice and tell you what they are. Just not why they are. Here's your first one, Key. You are an overconfident mobster.
Naturally.
Naturally.
But what about the game?
You have, and this is only because it's you, and you always have the perfect comments, by the way, so this is your fault as the player. Bard's tongue, you don't know why. Things you say happen to have a really bad habit of coming true. Which is going to go with the next flaw, cynical. You tend to have a worst case scenario outlook. And you're not afraid to tell people about it.
This is going to end terribly. Proceeds to end terribly.
You. Got another one. Hold on. Also have sphere restriction, which also everyone has. You are unable to actively use your primary sphere on anyone above your rank in your construct.
Do we all have that?
Yes.
Be right back. Switching backgrounds.
Just primary, not all your other spheres.
Alright. Not too bad.
And
So that's a 4-point, right?
in that particular case, yeah.
Okay.
And one more for Key. My list is done badly. That's my fault. I apologize. You have an inconvenient alliance with the Hong Lei, which is a disparate craft, Chinese in origin. Your particular family has ties to one of their families. You have an arrangement, which means you're aware of the existence of their reality deviants, but it's going to screw up your mortal relations if you start ratting them out to the Technocracy. It's going to screw up your technocratic relations if you don't eventually start ratting them out. You're going to have to figure that out at some point.
Yeah, this is...
And if you do rat them out, they'll know it was you. They'll want revenge. So good luck with that.
Perfect. Thank you. This...
Okay.
Yay!
Let's go to Jane.
Oh boy, I'm ready.
These are only flaws at this stage, by the way. I'm also giving some of you merits.
Yes.
Keep track of the point values, because if I don't buy off the flaws I give you with merits, they're free background points, like normal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Most of yours are psychological, Jane, because of your character. Shocking, right? First one is to reflect your naivete. The world is black and white. Subtlety isn't for you.
Right.
I have sense that I'm also going to have this one.
And how many points?
That would be
down?
correct, but it's a very different interpretation of black and white for Harry. That's worth 1 point.
Alright. Oh boy, my computer's gonna die soon.
Plug it in.
I'm trying to find my charger. Here we go, I found my charger. No, the matter is...
Curiosity for Jane, 2-point flaw.
Oh,
Your incredible
boy.
curiosity about one specific thing overrides your common sense. You'll have to make a roll to overcome the curiosity in any of that version.
Just me, though, in real life.
Your flaw is Xenos of any kind. If it's an alien or you think it is, you must know more.
Oh, yes. And that is 2 points?
Yep.
If I heard correctly? Okay, thank you.
This one is a older flaw from the World of Darkness, but in a World of Darkness game, it's more hampering than you'd think. Lifesaver, 3-point flaw. You will do everything in your power to never kill someone. Good luck, Harry.
This will be fun.
Well, I don't have to kill someone, but Harry...
No, but he shares your soul, so it hurts you when he does. At least if you see it.
Oh, okay.
I'll say look away.
Or hear it.
Still in
Or
there.
things splatter on you because of radius. Not as bad as pacifist, though. Okay. And one more for our naive Scully. Soft-hearted, 1 point.
Retarded.
+2 to all your difficulties if you witness suffering and can't do anything to alleviate it.
Like her. That's 2 points or 1? I'm sorry, I misheard.
That one's 1.
Okay. My character is a soft-hearted baby.
That is correct. Maybe
Got
not
the
a baby,
soft.
but definitely soft-hearted.
We got the soft, and then we got the seal.
And you won't know why this one is, but you are deaf on your left side.
I am actually deaf on my right side in real life.
I know, that's why I picked left. I didn't want it to be too real. The flaw I'm putting in Discord says 4, but that's because that would be both ears. Yours is only 2. This is actually a way Harry might get around some of those don't watch people die bits. You don't know why that is. Your ear was damaged. You have no memory of the event. Sure, that won't come up later. Okay, Harry.
Yes.
Your turn.
I got the black and white one down.
Yes.
And amnesia.
You have hatred, 3 points of Xenos.
I'm just a space marine.
Unrealistic disdain for alien species.
Is it though?
I'm
Is it
gonna
really
get a space
unrealistic?
marine helmet. I've got to do it now.
But I have that alien.
That one you could tolerate because you have to, but if it
Yes.
talks to you, you just wanna kick it. What were you saying, Zach?
I mean, is it really irrational? I mean, they're aliens. They're reality deviants.
That's right.
What
They're reality deviants. See?
I mean, that's what the technocracy does. Is it keeps the world safe from extraterrestrial beings that want to kill us.
It might look cute now, but just wait.
Wait until you put water on it after midnight.
Oh, it's water right anytime. Feeding after midnight.
It's
is the
true.
problem.
See, I'd be terrible with gremlins.
It's always after midnight.
I'd be terrible with gremlins because I'd make them on purpose. That's another story.
My other is that
Yeah,
are those my
I'm
only
getting.
flaws?
You got
Okay.
more, but I gotta get to it. The way I laid these out was terrible.
Okay.
There it is. Your last one is a 2-point flaw. Disturbing mannerism. Tie this into your extreme overt violence any way you want. But like when it manifests, it's disturbing. Could just be how you glare at people. It's totally up to you. But you can't hide it.
I mean, considering that Harry's character is cybernetics all about his face, hence this, maybe he can only make one expression, and it's always angry.
Or it could be you have facial cybernetics because of something horrible, and so you're disfigured on your face, yeah. So, like, instead of pretty, smooth cybernetics, or maybe it's the uncanny valley, and you did it on purpose to scare your enemies. Your face is too symmetrical now that it's cybernetic.
Oh my goodness. But honestly, what I'm thinking of, like, the little alien guy is, did any of you guys watch Teen Titans? The good one, not the new
I
one.
don't know if I want to answer that, but yes.
But, Starfire had her little silkworm, Silky.
It's not going to be that cute.
Oh, but I'm just hoping that that's what it is. Listen, I just want it to be cute and useless. It doesn't need to be anything
no.
else other than that.
It's gonna have a cool thing. Zach,
'Cause
Yo.
it's gonna have at least one super cool thing that you will strongly approve of when you hear what it is. You. Did you say you took cybernetics? I can't remember.
I did not know.
Okay. You also have, so... This one is going to be a weird version of the flaw. This is a flaw that I don't think exists in modern World of Darkness because it's a more sensitive time than it once was, but you have the deformed flaw, but not because of any kind of human deformity. You actually have this at 2 points, not 3, and it only applies to dealing with other technocrats, but it is worth 2 points because it affects your supervisor as well. You're a clone. There are like 20 of you out there. People know it, and they've seen the others, and it freaks them out.
Deformed is appearance based, is that correct?
It gives you a +2. It gives you a variable difficulty to social interactions. But yeah, it falls under physical flaws. Also, we lost your camera.
We did, yes. It's a...
Okay. But like I said, to stress for the audience, it's not a physical something happened as a result of birth. It's because you're a clone. When you take your shirt off, no belly button. You also have, because of the way you wrote your background, 1 point flaw of loyalty to the Technocracy. Even if you find out how bad they really are, doesn't matter. You still, you know, they're still better than the alternative. You have the 3 point flaw, flashbacks. I'll let you know when it happens, because you don't know what they are or why.
Lovely. So that was 3?
Yeah, that one's worth 3 points. And as also a side effect of that, nightmares, 1 point flaw when you sleep. You never remember them, but they're terrible.
Oh, I hate that. Guess who's spending willpower? Who's spending free P's on willpower? Well, it's a willpower roll every time you wake up.
Oh no, this is the 1 point version where occasionally it's a -1 dice to all rolls after a bad night, but not every night.
It's well, there's the willpower roll that you have to. If you fail it, then it's the -1.
Right, but I'm not making that happen every night, only on really bad nights. Basically, anytime you have the flashback that night, you're going to have so bad nightmares you have to roll willpower. That's how it's gonna work out.
All right. And how many points is the sphere restriction?
Sphere restriction's a lot.
3, I think.
Oh, right,
No,
because
4.
it's 4. It's not the full
4.
7.1 because I didn't go all the way.
Yo,
Yep.
just a moment. I think I figured out. What I'm gonna do for my
Tell
thing.
us while I fix
Whenever
cameras.
I get violent,
We will purge the Xenos.
I'm for
did
it.
that work? Did that work?
Yeah, it did work, yes.
Fuck yeah!
I'm for your Warhammer Space Marines nonsense. All
I'm
of it.
gonna be terrible. That's. You've given me permission to be terrible, so I'm gonna be terrible.
Harry's gonna commit war crimes.
I'm gonna be a goofy dude. I don't know if I'll actually do the voice because I feel like if my idea was originally Mulder with a gun, he's not exactly that enthusiastic about it. But
Well, you're
like,
currently Mulder with a
fully-
gun. You weren't always.
yeah, that's true.
Like, why are you on the front lines when you're a pilot?
Mhm.
Questions you wonder sometimes, but you don't question your superiors. They know what they're doing. You definitely had a pass, though. Okay, Jason.
Yeah.
Here's your first one. Again, gonna have no idea why, but you're offensive to animals. They don't like you.
Fun.
Really weird. Just too bad, because you probably like cats.
Confused by image of
Harry, we're not
Oh
muted.
no, I was showing Jane a thing. Damn it. I'm dumb. I thought I had muted myself. I'm sorry.
You have one that no one else is gonna have. It does not come up for mages much, but it does for you. Persistent family, 2 points. You have human family that lives in Detroit and knows where you live and what they think is your place of work, and they're always trying to bother you. They're always at the front door of the construct, knocking, asking to borrow $20. These are not your parents, though. These are annoying siblings and/or cousins. Okay. Or kids. That works too, Rachel, yes. Okay,
Your niece and nephew, they always come around, like selling cookies.
Let's go.
and last but not least, the fun one for Jason. 3-point version, weirdness. Pick a spear you have points in. It has a really bizarre side effect when you use it. We'll make it science-based. It'll be some kind of weird backlash, but it always happens, and it's always weird. You're free to pick which sphere.
I think I'm gonna do spirit because of the dimensional science. I feel like that would have a fun side effect.
Oh no, this is for Jason. Sorry.
Oh,
You already had yours. You're good.
okie doke, good. Phew.
Probably no, correspondence.
Okay.
We'll go with that one just because that seems like it'd be fun where when he's, trying to link things together like literal lasers and stuff.
I know exactly what it'll be then. Anytime you use any kind of correspondence effect, regardless of where, why, or how, every communication technology within 20 yards goes off. Phones, GPS, car navigation, Alexa. Doesn't matter. It's a weird side effect to your technology.
So the FCC's not a big fan of me.
No.
Wait,
Neither is OnStar.
wait. So what goes off when he uses correspondence?
So whenever
Communication technology.
So yeah, whenever I use correspondence, it's like electromagnetic field messes up car alarms. Basically anything within.
Only communication technology, so cell
just
phones.
communication
Yeah.
stuff? Okay.
Cell phones, Wi-Fi, OnStar, Alexa, anything that talks to the internet or to other people. Even old school landlines will start ringing.
Nice.
Just curiosity. Who has cybernetic implants?
It won't affect those. You guys
It's
are not... the uplink that controls those is a different sort of thing than the technology. I'm referring to mundane stuff here for him.
Okay.
It won't affect Wonders either. Not yet, anyways. Okay. Merits. I gave you all at least one, but then you're all going to have some freebie points too. So for Key. Graceful.
Naturally. But what about the game?
2-point merit. And just because I love giving key things that just get really weird interactions with the rest of the party. 1 point, animal magnetism. Animals love to come up to you for pets. This will have no terrible interactions with Jason at all, I promise.
None
Okay.
whatsoever.
Gonna have to fight off a tiger at some point. Fingers crossed.
It's gonna love you, but it might try to eat Jason, yeah. Okay.
Regular tiger or saber-tooth or cyber-tooth tiger?
It's probably a saber-tooth tiger that got out of the lab. A clone of dead species. Okay. Jane.
Yes.
Where'd he go? There it is. You and Harry both share this at the 6-point value. Twin link.
Wow. What'd you say?
Twin link.
Okay.
I put it in Discord. You're at the 6-point level, meaning your bond is nearly telepathic. You always know what the other person is feeling and to a limited extent thinking at any range. The other person can block it, but it requires a willpower roll.
Ah, interesting.
As awakened beings, you can make awareness rolls to actually get me to tell you specific states of being, what's happening with the twin. Physical condition, if you use life. Exactly what they're
boy.
thinking if you use mind.
I really hope you don't get tortured at any point in this game.
Yeah, just don't think about it.
You just don't think too hard about that, it's fine. Exactly, Machete. Other advantages are mechanical. If you do rituals together, you actually double the bonus instead of the normal ritual bonus.
That's good.
Ooh.
But only if one or the other of you is leading the ritual. It doesn't work if someone else is leading. However, if you are separated too far apart, which I'm going to give an arbitrary value of like 20 miles, for more than an hour, you'll take -1 dice to all pools until you reconnect.
Wow.
Oh.
Both of you, yes. Shouldn't come up much, though, as a team. Okay. Harry, you're still the 6-point one, obviously.
Yep.
But you also get, I can scroll to it and paste it, but I know what it is. It's crack shot. It's a +1 dice, or a -1 difficulty to all your shooting pools. You are a marksman extreme.
Perfect.
Okay.
Is that a 2-point merit?
1.
1. Okay, so I still have 1 merit point to spend.
Yep. Or no, that is 2. You're right. I apologize.
Okay.
My bad. Zach.
You.
Merits. You get the fun one, but only the one. Again, because of why you were wiped and the terrible thing that happened to you that you don't remember. Sphere Natural with Mind. Not only is it cheaper because it's your primary sphere, you're paying 3/4 the normal cost to raise it.
How many points is that one?
5. Okay. Where did it go? And Jason's, I gotta find yours.
It's hiding.
It is hiding.
So I take it we're allowed to be over the normals.
Normal
cap
7,
of
yeah.
7 for flaws. Okay.
Correct, because there's some backstory happening.
Yep, perfect.
Where did it go? Come back to me. the lucky one, but I can't. There we go. You're lucky. 3 points. Three re-rolls during the course of the story. Now, because we also have votes in this game, I do the luck a little differently. The re-roll automatically has the benefit of assuming you spent willpower, so it's always at least one success. So it's 3 automatic wins, plus you can roll the dice. So instead of spending willpower, which you have to do before the roll, you can do this after, like spending a vote from the audience. Okay. Now, whatever freebie points you have left, you may spend to raise things on your character sheets.
Aw, yeah.
You said
repeat
there
those
wasn't going to be
instructions?
math.
I lied.
Not doing any more math without my lawyer present.
Oh no, math. Oh god.
What I gotta do math-wise?
I don't think you do, because I think you ended up breaking even on merits and flaws, so you only have one freebie point, Harry.
I think I have one free.
Yep, you each have one freebie point for you two. The twin thing made you come out differently than everybody else.
Willpower. Done.
Merit.
Jane has 3 freebies. She's got Amnesia, Black and White, Curiosity, Xenos, Lifesaver, Soft-Hearted,
Oh, she had more flaws, yeah.
Diff on the left, so she's got 3.
Everybody has sphere restriction as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but that's not the one that penalizes you for raising it. That's the one that penalizes you for using it. Still costs the same to raise it with XP. But the restriction is you can't use it on your superiors, your primary sphere.
And I have 3 points that I can put anywhere.
So spheres cost 7 points a dot.
I think it's 8 for out of non-primary, 7 for primary, or either that or it's 7 for primary and 7 for not primary and 6 for primary.
I think the cost might be different for. I don't know.
I'm getting it now.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So I can put these extra. Oh, I'm sorry.
So we start with the usual 15 points.
Right, but some of you had to blow most of that on Arete.
So anybody who has 4 in a sphere, that goes down to 1.
Okay, here we go. Raising your primary sphere is current rating times 7. Raising all others is current rating times 8.
That's experience and freebies. They're different in cost spend.
Oh, freebies is... You were asking about freebies because I'm a smart person. Freebies is 6, period. Just 6.
6 period, okay.
Yeah.
Why, yeah.
So if I wanted to go to 3, I'd have to spend 7 on Arete and then 6 on one of them, and I'd be done.
Right, basically.
Pretty much. Yeah, okay, we're not going to do
And
that.
then dump a couple in willpower, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
So I have 1 point left. I think that means that I had to put 4 into my Arete. Can I put the points into backgrounds?
Yep, backgrounds are 1 per dot. Willpower is 1 per
Okay.
dot.
I now have a certification of 4.
What'd you do with yours, Harry?
The freebies?
Your 1 point, yeah.
Oh yeah, I have 1. I don't know what to do with 1 point of freebie.
Willpower is always the default, 'cause it's 1 for 1.
Okay, I'll do a willpower. We start with 5, right? So that'll
Yep.
be 6 now?
Correct. remember, a lot of opposed rolls, if I'm like trying to do stuff to you with bad guys, the difficulty is often your willpower.
What was the maximum for willpower?
10.
You said
I'll let you max that out if you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Um,
especially at this stage, the freebies.
and he said we each get 1 point in rank background automatically, right?
Correct. You can go as high as 3, but at 3, there's going to be a lot of pressure to become a supervisor. It's almost like a flaw, but not quite at that point. Being a supervisor, if you're wondering, kind of takes you out of the player character realm. Unless the whole party becomes supervisors.
I think instead of certification of 3, I'm gonna put rank at 2, so I can be like, let me in. I outrank you.
Okay. In the Technocracy, the humans are rank 0, regardless of position. Rank 1 are starting agents, rank 2 are experienced agents, rank 3 are veteran. Anything above that is not really an agent anymore. For like, Zach at rank 4 becomes a white suit and everyone becomes terrified of him.
Speaking of that, so with what we talked about where my dude was going to be kind of on the cups of either going PsyOps or going into the Black Suit Protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be rank 2 or 3, or would that be
2.
2?
Because that's on the cusp of having to choose, right? Still default to a black suit, but if you gain another point, you're going to have to pick.
Secondary abilities are 2 per dot as well.
Correct.
All right.
I'm going to ask Key. Would you pick Key?
He is still picking, so this is... Yeah. A lot of things to look at. Thinking of taking maybe a dot in entropy,
Always a fun sphere.
so I can always win at the casino. That's it. No other
No
reason.
other reason?
That is it. Telling if people are lying? No, I don't need that. That's...
Not at all what I do with it. I have another question to ask then while we wait. An important one, starting with Key. What's your name?
My name?
Your PC's name. At least the first name.
That is a very good question. But what makes a name?
Could also be a handle as a technocrat. It doesn't matter to me. So, like, Zach could tell me he's 6 of 15 if he wanted or something. Or Smith. I'll jump to Jane.
Are we unmuted?
I
I don't
should be.
know.
Yes, you are.
Okay, my character's name is Thea Miller.
Thea. Got it.
And I am playing Soren.
Spell that for me, please.
Sorin.
Thank you.
You got
Well,
the
don't
Earth
say the
sky
bit.
coming.
bum.
Aww.
Okay. Did you figure one out, Key? Or you still thinking?
I am still looking.
Zach?
Jacob Hardigan.
All right, you said that at the beginning. Because I pay attention. And Jason.
Comrade with a K, 762.
I like it.
Oh, I like it. That's good.
And if he ever ranks up, that will change.
Okay. Oops. I made Jane's name invisible because I'm apparently mean to Jane.
Just a clarification. How much was Enlightenment?
Believe that one's 7, but I'm checking. Yeah, 7.
That's spheres. 7.
Correct?
Yeah, Enlightenment should be 7 too, I think.
4.
Means I overcharged you. Should I give you those points back or make you spend them anyways? Nope, you can have them back.
Yeah. That changes the math for everybody who got the...
4 is your max too, by the way, so you can't go past that.
Right.
Yeah, I gave you the wrong math for that, which actually means... you will have 6 more freebie points.
Get 6 more freebie? Well, I'm just gonna willpower dump the rest of them.
You certainly can.
Now I have 2 left. What can I do with 2?
You could add
Increase
1 dot to
skill by
any
1.
ability.
Okay, I think I'll do that.
Up your rank.
That's possible. For
Yep, max of 3.
That could be a point of contention though, with if the twins have different ranks. That makes for some interesting.
Could make some interesting roleplay, yeah. I order you to do this.
Exactly.
Listen here, asshole.
I feel like Harry would definitely order you to do things, Jane. You're gonna watch me execute this, so you know it's good for you.
Builds character.
Meanwhile, he just has to deal with the other half of his soul just violently sobbing and having a major mental breakdown. That's fun for him.
Fun for the whole family.
We never did ask the fun question, so while people are filling out, we can discuss this. Are you literal twins or not? And
No.
if you're not,
No.
are you lovers?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely makes for a fascinating dynamic then, when the murder begins.
Yeah, but the problem is we're literal soulmates, so what the fuck else are we gonna do?
That is true.
Oh, wait, Harry, I think your rank is a 3, because we all started out with a rank of 1.
No, I can only add 1 dot for the 2 points.
No.
Oh,
rank
okay,
is 1 for 1.
Rank is 1 point.
Rank is 1 for 1.
Abilities
Oh.
is 2 for 1.
Then I'm 3.
You outrank Jane then. Okay. What'd you spend the rest of yours on, Jane?
You know what? I'm actually going to take, and put it in my rank. So now we're both rank 3. I put another rank into my certification, and then I put the rest in my willpower. So now I have a willpower
Okay.
9.
So now what's going to happen is Harry's going to order Zach to take the shot, and Jane's going to order Zach to not take the shot, and he's not going to know what to do.
We're the same rank?
Yes, we're the same rank.
Fuck.
All right, Zach, what'd you do with yours?
I might have to put a point into rank now. So, NWO mind is important. High mind sphere.
Yep.
So I'm putting 5 points into willpower.
Yep, that makes sense.
Now looking over the quick list of secondary abilities to see if there's anything that I really want to take. Not sure if there's anything there.
I'll come back to you.
Actually, yeah, I think.
Okay.
I think I will take another dot of rank because to really push him to the point where he's like
is forced to make
a
that
decision.
choice. Yeah.
Is he going to be, go black suit protocol and be in charge of a team of black suits, or is he going to go psyops and fuck with people's heads? Black daggers is the actual term that I was looking for. There we go.
Oh yes. And Jason, deep in thought.
Yeah. All right. So, you want to know what I spent my freebies on?
Or at least as many as you have spent. Yep.
Okay. Computers 4, medicine 4, science 4, research 3, technology 4, willpower +2, cybernetics 3 and 4, bioaugmentation 3 and 4, acute senses 3, so I get all of them. And that leaves me with 1 left. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to bump my willpower to 8 or if I'm going to increase one of my backgrounds.
If you are picking backgrounds, reminder, since you have primal energy as a sphere, you actually don't have to worry as much about your genius limiting your primal energy, because you can actually use your sphere dots you can exceed your genius in the amount of quintessence you can hold in your pattern. Without prime and at least 2 dots in the sphere, you can only hold a number of quintessence in your pattern equal to your genius.
Okay.
You can exceed that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to go to Secret Weapons 3 or Enhancement 4.
That is a hard one. And Key, did you come up with a name?
I did find a handle for my character to go by. I have Satori. It is a mythological name. It references a great ape that can read minds.
That's
so
cool.
I felt that was fitting for the physically strong character with mind too.
Satori?
Satori.
That is the exact spelling of my freshman football coach / 9th grade gym health teacher.
That also means sudden enlightenment. Okay, yeah.
That makes sense then, yeah. Okay. So, with 10 minutes to spare, we will obviously start next session. However, before we do an outro, I need to know, for fun things, companion, only Jane has that, yes? And how many dots, Jane? 2. Enhancement, Key, how many dots?
Enhancement.
Background.
Enhancement, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, 1.
Harry.
I took 3 enhancements.
3, okay. Jason.
So if I go to 4, enhancements. I'm looking here, and it says +4 attribute dots or 12 points for devices.
Which is going to end up being points because I'm actually going to build your augmentations to fit the setting. It'll be some combination of those that fits your character, yeah.
Okay, and then 4 poured paradox actually gets dropped to 2, correct?
Correct.
Oh, screw it. Let's do that.
And Jane, did you have augmentations? Okay. Secret weapons. Would you have, Harry?
5.
Anybody else have that?
2.
Okay. That's all I'll need before the next session to build you your cool shit. And you picked your own wonders, right, Zach? Your own devices? The suit and something else.
Yeah, so it was the black suit with the +4 armor, with the ES phone with the BDS,
right.
Which he has a connection to his glasses.
Right.
He has mirror shades, of course, but he can essentially. Oh right, I originally planned this with correspondence. That's gonna change it. I was planning on using correspondence to never have to take out his phone and always be able to view it through the mirror shades. So
I can still allow that because it's a wonder. You can have Wi-Fi on your shades. If the shades are actually a wonder, you can even have the Adam Jensen shades, where they're just 2 little implants in the side of your eyes, and when you think about it, they snap into shades and cover your eyes.
I was mentally picturing an advanced form of Google Glass, where it looks like normal glasses instead of just that little goofy looking thing that Google Glass was, and it shows the feed on the inside of the lens.
And then you can color change them. Okay, that works.
They can't be. It can only be seen like looking out. So if I took off the glasses and turned them around like this, then you'd be able to see them on the.
Right. Perfect. Well, in that case, this seems like a good place to pause until next week when we'll actually jump into the adventure and the meat, the fun, and the excitingness. Well, I will immediately attack you with something terrible, undoubtedly.
Did anybody watch the Technocracy Reloaded that Travis ran?
I did.
Kickstarter. So you're gonna drew somebody then?
Yes. And it's an accurate representation. Mess with the volume a little there, and that song is loud. Okay. So, we will save the super badass outro for next week, now that I know who your characters are, and I can, know who your characters are, and I can customize it. Still too loud. There we go. So for now, first I'm going to have you all tell everyone who you are again, and the next time you're doing anything cool with Horrible Tales or anything else on the internet. Same order, since Dwayne didn't make it, we start with Key.
Yes, I am Key-sama. You can find me on Twitter at TrueKey-sama. You can find me on Thursdays at the Chilling Chronicles. I gotta remember the name. My brain don't work good. But yeah, started up again. Go check it out. And lastly, you can find me in the back of a Denny's near you.
Awesome. Next would be JT, but JT burned his hand, so he cannot do his outro with us. However, you can see JT next Wednesday playing Tales from the Loop with Sean. Jane.
Hello, yes. I am also on Tales from the Loop. You can find me on Onyx Path at twitch.tv as well on Thursdays, and then on my Twitter and Tumblr under the name The Confused Crow, I have my commissions open.
Yes, hello, I'm Harry. You can find me next here for White Walls. where we just did a thing. We raided a house and encountered some weird people, and things are going crazy.
The official ending to that episode was, and I quote, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah. Then after that, I've got a Wednesday game here, and then I have the Onyx Path game with this goober over here. It's run by Rachel, and it's a lot of fun. And listen to the Saratoga by Night podcast, which I do. It's not going on right now. It's been on hiatus for a couple months, but it will be back, and it's going to be nuts, so stay tuned.
Zach.
Hi, I'm Zachary Naldra, he, him. You can find me on the Twitters and other places on the internet webs as @ZachRules. I have some stuff on Storyteller's Vault and other community content products. Currently doing a bundle for my 2 Storyteller Vault titles called Into the Hollow. You can find me next tomorrow morning on the Onyx Path channel. And tomorrow afternoon, if you are for some reason up this late watching from the other side of the Atlantic or the other side of the Pacific, I'm not good with time zones. And I'll be doing the Contagion Chronicle Jumpstart.
And Jason.
I am _Tori on Twitter and other social medias, and I am part-time podcaster for Lore of the Apocalypse, where I explore the lore of Werewolf the Apocalypse, geared towards new players.
And we are Vorpal Tales. I run Mage Weekends, Technocracy Reloaded on Saturdays, White Walls crossed over with Cult Divinity Lost on Sundays. Mondays we have our finale of Cyberpunk Red this week, and then a hiatus for a week, and on the 19th we begin Dune Adventures in the Imperium. Tuesday is Kickstarter Day on Onyx Path Publishing, which means we're doing Trinity Continuum Adventure. I can't do that as well as Steve. Wednesday is Tales from the Loop. Thursday is Strange Aeon Season 2, The Thrushmore Terror. Friday is Scarred Lands, Dracogenesis, except this week we're actually doing part of Jumpstart April with Onyx Path. So on their channel on Friday we'll be doing Trinity Continuum Aberrant, Teenage Superheroes. And then Saturday, returning to this. You can check us out at vorpaltales.com to see our calendar for all events, shows, and otherwise. And it'll have links to our YouTube for past broadcasts, all our social media, and our Patreon. Until next week, when we have a cool, catchy outro to fit our characters, don't be deviants, because we're always watching. Good night.